friends. So I know I haven't been making a lot of videos lately, but you'll have to excuse me. I've been busy and tired and sleeping and writing and yeah. I just wanted to tell you guys about something that happened to me the other day, which is completely fucking retarded. Okay, I love to drive. I drive a lot. I have been driving I've had my own car for just over a year now, and well, I've had 2 different cars already, but whatever. So I've driven in the winter before. I've driven in Canadian winters before, and so I have my own car. I drive a 2004 Dodge Neon, and yay, it drives. That's all I care about. But the other day I'm driving, it's like me, obviously, driver's seat, my sister in the passenger seat, and her boyfriend in the back seat. And we're driving, the city that we live in has lots of like one-ways. I mean, yeah, there's lots of one-way streets, there's lots of multiple lane one-way streets, then there's multiple lane two-way streets, and there's lots of streets just randomly become two-way streets. Like, there's one section in particular where it just arbitrarily becomes 2 ways, arbitrarily becomes 2 lanes, arbitrarily becomes 1 lane, and then arbitrarily becomes 2 lanes again. And it's so fucking stupid. But I'm driving, right? I go around the corner and there's this van ahead of me. I wasn't following him too close. I am kind of an aggressive driver, but I wasn't being overly aggressive. I have in the past been overly aggressive. I am known to, like, I'm trying to calm myself down a little. I have a little bit of road rage, but like, I'm the kind of person where you cut me off and I go into the other lane, I honk and give you the middle finger because I want you to know that I'm pissed off at you. I'm trying not to do that because I understand that's rude and that's a really good way to get into confrontations, and I really hate confrontations. But the other day, back to my story, the other day, driving at night, it's like it was snowing and lots of fresh snow on the ground. It was kind of windy, and people drive like 20 kilometers an hour. And I'm like, okay, like, I understand that it's like kind of crappy out. If you don't have snow tires, then you're probably like a little nervous, but really the driving wasn't bad. I've driven way worse this year. Driving wasn't that bad. So I'm following this guy who's following this like elderly couple ahead of him, and they're in a car, he's in a van, I'm in a car. So we're driving, we're not going too fast, we're going like 30. I was just like, I wasn't overly frustrated because I was talking to my sister and we're listening to Lady Gaga. And I was just cranking it and just like dancing in the car, like, right? And I'm like laughing. And so there's one part of the road where I always change into the outside lane because the street turns and it becomes, there's like a major set of lights right here. So I'm in this lane. Bitch in the van and an elderly couple are in this lane. I turn to go around them because people will turn up this street and there's no advanced green. So sometimes you get stuck there for like 2 lights and it's a long light. And I'm like, okay, no, I never wait there. I always go into the other lane. I do this drive every day. So as I'm coming up, my mirror is right at the line of the passenger door, like the front to the back, like right in the line there. And this guy in the van just starts fucking coming into my lane. So I honk and I'm like, fuck. Keeps coming to the point where like I am in complete shock that my mirror is still intact with my car. So I have to swerve, like I'm moving to try and keep away from her, and she drives me into a curb, and because somehow I kept control of the car, it's like, I mean, it's snow covered, there's ice everywhere under all the snow. The roads are fine because the road's melted, but the grass and the sidewalk, not okay, like not even a little bit. So this crazy bitch who just randomly decided to drive me off the road literally drives me off the road. I fly onto the curb. The car's like, my sister starts screaming. Her boyfriend is like, I didn't even think of them for like 3 seconds, right? I maintain control of the car, come back onto the road, and I come back up alongside the girl, did not even stop, stayed in that lane, and I'm honking beside. We get to the set of lights. I get out of the car to check the side of my car to be like, because I thought for sure that the front of the car was going to be smashed up. I hit the curb so hard. I was driving like maybe 60 kilometers per hour, and I get out of the car. Like at this moment, my sister's crying and shaking. I'm raging. I get out of the car, slam the car door, and I go to the other side because it's a red light. I go to around the other side of the car, and I look down and I go look to the van, and I'm like, literally, these are like my words. I'm like, you crazy fucking cunt! You drove me off the fucking road. And she looks at me and she's like, fuck you. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I was not tailgating. I was not driving too close. I did not have my high beams on. I wasn't like clicking them into her rear view mirror. I wasn't doing anything rude. I wasn't like swerving to try and get around her. I wasn't honking before. I honk when she's fucking driving into my lane. Blatantly, like not even drifting, like blatantly turning into my lane. It's a very straight part of the road. So I am screaming at this woman. There's probably like 6 or 7 cars behind us that saw the whole thing and did not do anything about it. The old couple in the car ahead of her are like staring at me, and I'm like, you crazy fucking bitch. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I like go to the car, the light turns green, and everybody speeds off, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? I'm sorry, if I saw somebody like driving into somebody's lane and have them drive off the road, almost hitting a pole, I would slam on my brakes, I would go out, and I would be like, are you okay? Like, what happened? I saw the whole thing. Do you want me, like, I got the license. I didn't get the license for the van because this bitch flew. Like, she fucking took off. I was so mad. I got into the car again, drove to my grandma's, which was just around the block, got inside. We were having like a family dinner, and I just burst into tears, and I just cried for like an hour because I've never had like a near accident experience, and I was so upset. And I'm still left with this, like, I have road rage. I can admit that I have road rage. My first reaction wasn't to cry or get upset. My first reaction was to go over and like drag this woman out of the car because I was so angry that she just drove me off the road for no reason. And I have road rage, but I don't arbitrarily like drive people off the road. My sister and my mom went by the spot, like that part of the road today, which is like after snow, and she said you can just see my tire marks just like fly up, and she's like, I don't know how you kept control, like I'm impressed that you kept control of the car. And I'm like, well, I was like, did we almost hit that pole? And my mom's like, yeah. My mom's like, I don't know how, like, your mirrors, like you have both mirrors still, like you must have been like a hair away from both things, because my sister was like, that guy is just coming into the lane. Like, my sister was shaking, she was so upset, and then I didn't want to drive home. I was like, I don't want to drive ever again, like a, you know, moment of, in conclusion, people are lunatics, and a lot of people should not have their licenses. If you do not have snow tires, then you shouldn't be driving in the winter. If you are a lunatic who likes to drive people off the road arbitrarily for absolutely no reason while you're in a giant minivan and I'm in a little tiny car, then fuck you. I really wish I got your license plate so I could report you to the police, because you're a fucking crazy bitch and you shouldn't have your license. And you're very lucky that my car wasn't fucked up, or I would find you because I work at a gas station. I would find a fucking way. Bitches. I tell you. Jeez.